Welcome to InstaChat. I'm Andile, the journalist. And yeah, man, the journalistdj.com is a dance culture magazine, and that's why we do what we do. That's why we talk to like the dopest producers in the game, the dopest DJs in the game. We also talk to people that are behind the industry, so that we can understand how this music thing works, how the music business works, and we're documenting dance culture basically. It's all about house music. And today, my guest is a guy called Josi Chave. You've probably heard that ad lib on radio, you know. And he just dropped a brand new single called Baleka, featuring Thandi Draai and Cuba, Interesting fact, Thandi Draai and Cuba have been guests on the show, you know. So, it's good to connect like that, to connect to colleagues, to connect to people that know people that have been on the show. And yeah, man, we're all one big happy family in the house community in South Africa. So today I talked to Josi Chave. And yeah, I can't wait. It's going to be a dope one. We've been trying to connect since 7 o'clock, but for some reason, we've just been having like connection issues. So we are trying again now for the second time to see if this thing is gonna work. So yeah, Instagram is like not on our side tonight, but we'll keep trying up until we win. We'll keep trying up until we win. I never give up. I never give up. Yes, this thing keeps saying Josi Chave is unable to connect, but he is here. So, okay. It's a bit of a problem. Technical issues. In Setswana, we say, Matata a se tekgeniki. Matata a se tekgeniki bagaetsho. But please bear with us because, we shall connect eventually. And we will connect.
Yo,
Bro. Finally.
hey, finally, man.
I think, ever since Instagram updated their software for this, three-way chat thing, they messed up with the original settings. So now that's why we are
Yeah.
struggling. But anyway, brother, how are you, man?
No, I'm good. Thanks, and you, man.
Yeah, no. I'm all right, brother. I've actually been meaning to, reach out to you for a while for us to have this
Yeah.
interview. So I'm glad that we are finally connecting.
Yeah, dog. I'm also glad that it's happening, man. It's really dope to connect, and connecting through music.
Yes, sir. And I was saying earlier that um, Cuba and Thandi Draai have actually also been guests here, and we've had some interesting conversations. And it's
Yeah.
interesting that you have a song with both of them called Baleka. But before we get
Yeah.
into that, for those who may not know who Josi Chave is, can you just kindly introduce yourself?
All right. Josi Chave is a guy originally born in Soweto, but my roots are from Limpopo in Zaning. So yeah, man, I grew up in Joburg, Soweto, everywhere in Joburg, kind of hence my name Josi, but it's actually my real name, which is Josias. Wabona. So yeah, then it was shortened to Josi just to make it sound cool and fit in with the rest of the DJs.
Mm.
Yeah, so over the years, man, I did sound engineering at Auckland Park. I also studied at Phil Candy a while back when it started, Level Ryan Megatroid. And then after I finished school, I couldn't find a job in music, bro. So I actually started sending out my music demos. I was doing a lot of music producing, send out all that stuff to different labels, and nobody wanted to sign me. So I then started my own label. Originally, it was called Black Noise. Now it's my publishing company. The label that I'm running with now is African Noise. So yeah, starting that label and getting a distribution deal with Soul Candy, and releasing my first couple of compilations. I think like 2008 was the first one that I released, which featured massive. It was basically on the deep tech minimal sound. So I was like on that sound in 2008. And it was crazy because it was starting up, that Ame sound, the German sound that you're hearing from Inner Visions, from the different labels out there in Germany. So yeah, man. And then later on, I joined YFM as an intern, and yeah, man. Since then, I've been at YFM doing YTKO mixes, doing a show called The Warehouse right now with Just Mo every Friday at 10 p.m. So basically just showcasing and building the house scene, building the legacy.
Wow, man, that's very interesting. So, I just want to go back to your, school days,
Yeah.
at Soul Candy, with guys like Ryan McAdoy. I always mess up his name. I think it's Ryan.
Ryan M.
Yeah, during the Soul Candy era, right? How was it like being involved, at that time when I think at the time soulful music was at its peak? Can you just describe, how the dance scene was like for you at that time?
Hey man, that time I won't lie to you. The scene was at its peak, and like you said, man, just being in a space where just walking into a space where you see plaques on the walls, sometimes you get to see your idols, come through, and you'll be like, oh my God, that's DJ Tira, or oh my God, this is Clock, and the bigger guys, the Grootmans of the game, you bump into them there at Soul Candy as they were releasing their compilations. So at that time, it was like really dope because on the other hand, there was no social media. The only way to chat up a Grootman was that you needed to be at the shops. You know what I'm saying? You needed to be at the record stores, or you needed to be at the parties that they were at. There was no let me hit up Mang Mang on the DMs on Todd. Or just hit them up live, God mentioning, and trolling. You needed to troll in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, the dope thing, like just connecting with guys, that was the dope thing and also being associated with such a brand that was big then was amazing, man. Like doing shows with them, and then also getting to see the blueprint of how they did their compilations, which was licensed tracks from different labels overseas, and redistribute them here in South Africa where they had a big market. So that's what basically I got into as well with my compilations, where I started hitting up Defected, I started hitting up labels in America, I started hitting up different labels in Germany, and I licensed the music myself, and then I put it up on compilations where I featured some local tracks, and then later on, with the local production, getting a lot of recognition internationally. That's when I was like, let's put more local, and it's the same thing now. I'm working on a sort of like an EP, where it's literally like local guys in the scene, the guys that are up and coming, guys that are struggling to get airplay. So putting together a compilation of guys like that, which will then be like jointly pushed out to a bigger audience.
That's interesting. So in 2021, you are working on a compilation, but the difference now is that it's with local guys. Is that what you say?
Yeah, it's all local and international labels. So it's actually flipped.
Oh,
So
wow.
it's like, it's like all local production, and it's going to be pushed by international labels, which is dope on them, using the platform, taking advantage. And that's one thing our labels need to do. Just take advantage, believe in the talent. It's not about the numbers all the time. There's talent out there that doesn't have numbers. I mean, I'm getting songs on the weekly from someone who has like 100 followers, and I have this song on repeat. Like, how do people not know about the song? You know what I'm saying? So it's really amazing that the internationals pick it up. They don't sleep, bro. They pick that song up, and then that's why you end up having a lot of guys like Bukulo probably doing gigs overseas more than he's doing them here. You know what I'm saying? because of the love that he's getting that side. Because guys that side, when they hear something, they believe in it. They believe in it straight away. I've always seen mainstream or it doesn't go mainstream. They're already in it. They take it to mainstream. And this is what we need locally as well.
Yeah, man. The business side of publishing, it always kind of like confuses, up and coming people, DJs and producers. So if I'm a DJ and I'm up and coming, and I believe that I have a hot song, and let me just make a typical example. Let's say it's Afro Tech, and we know that in South Africa, radio, does not really vibe with that sound, but I want to record it nationally. What's the first thing do I need to do to make sure that the song gets reached?
It's building a pool of DJs that play on a weekly basis. And that starts with connecting with other producers, other DJs, going to the gigs if you have to, and actually sampling those DJs that they push about 3 to 5 gigs a week, or they've got a residency on a radio station. That's your starting point, because especially with that sound, it's for the streets. It's to get the people moving, and once the people start talking about it, that's when by the time you pitch it to radio for airplay, the radio compiler is like, yeah, I've heard people talk about this online. I've seen YouTube videos, type of thing. I've seen people jam to this at a club that's packed, type of thing. And that's what we're missing right now with this whole COVID thing. We're just missing that vibe. That vibe of just seeing 1,000 people jam to a song for the first time, and it gives you that thing, I know this is a track. You know what I'm saying? We should not sleep on this song as a nation. So COVID is stealing something like that away from us. But hey, the vaccines are here, so hopefully they will save us, and then we're back to grooving, Baba.
Wow. Yeah, man. And interesting thing is that you mentioned earlier is that you couldn't get a job in the music industry, so you decided to start a label, right? I think that's super interesting. How has that entrepreneurial journey been so far?
Yeah, I won't lie, it's tough, man. And the toughest thing is that you have to be in love with it. Entrepreneurship is all about love. You have to be in love with, whether you're in love with making money, making profits, or you're just in love with, like with me, I'm addicted to the energy of, that DJ energy of other people responding to your set, 1,000 people chanting to one thing. That's what's got me hooked. That's the love that I'm in, where sometimes I sacrifice even profits because I'm blinded by that love, you know what I'm saying, as an artist. So that's what will help you. If you don't have any of that, trust me, like if you don't have any love, you won't survive, because it's cold out in the streets, man. Like you have to bring a jacket with you, like they say, you know what I'm saying? So man, it was really hard, because you have to know people in order to get into the music industry, unless if you're super major talented, and out of nowhere, the people that know people pick up your talent on the streets and say this is hot. You know what I'm saying? But you have to know people, and you have to take chances. And that's one thing I enjoyed about hustle maybe 10, 15 years back, is that people took chances and they went to studios. If they wanted to speak to Josi, they went to the YFM studio and they stood outside until Josi came out for his show. And it's like, hey, Joe, here's my mixtape. Now it's all about bombarding people in the DMs. And half of the time, we're not about that life, like with me, bro. Like, I can miss your DM. I'll probably respond next year. And by that time, it's a bit too late. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those Eminem stand situations.
Yeah. No, I hear what you're saying, man. And obviously, hosting the warehouse on YFM, you get to obviously see up and coming talent and all that, and you can obviously, you're in a position to kind of like see where trends are going, right? So because obviously you get music all the time, and obviously you also play, you're always out there. Which looking now in the next 2 years, which sound do you think that will be big in South Africa from dance?
Look, I must say, man, one thing I've picked up with music is that history always repeats itself. A few years ago you had Gqom, which was really a bit fast paced. Like up tempo pushing. And it was taking over from an era where, like, you had the Kwaito era, which was a bit slower, and the Afropop era that came through. And right about now, we obviously went from Gqom to slow again, back to piano vibes, and so forth. So I really think it's history just keeps repeating itself. I mean, right now we're moving into there's new stuff that I'm getting where people are infusing Afro tech and piano, which is crazy, And I was like, how the hell? What are these DJs? What are these producers smoking? Oh my gosh, And I think that's the sound that's going to take over, especially those piano elements, because they're doing big overseas, man, and people on overseas are jumping on them now. You know what I'm saying? And we're tired of it. We're looking for the next thing. And the next thing right now is that electronic Afro sound mixed in with the piano elements. I'm really hearing a lot of producers that are messing with that type of sound.
Wow, I've heard a song or two sounding like that, so it will be interesting to see how the songs, come out and what the next trend will be. But now, obviously, we
Yeah.
all know Kima Piano everywhere, Baba. So,
Yeah, man, you gotta respect. People say that that's the my 2000. Every generation has a genre, That's the
yeah.
my 2000 genre. So you gotta give it to them. It's a sound that vibes with their generation, and hey, bro, it goes in. There's no lies about that.
Yeah, yeah, man. And your sound is Afro tech, right?
Yeah,
Electro,
yeah.
and you've been at it, since way back, with your compilations, and you're consistent with it. You have a new song with Thandi Draai in Cuba out called Baleka. What what
Yeah.
what made you release that song?
Oh man, so this song was originally released in 2017. So the original was released then, and yeah, man, when the original was released, it was basically a song about creating GBV awareness, encouraging women to stand up and run away from whatever BS that they're experiencing in their lives, and that was released about 2017. So all electronic music, the label approached me to do remix package, and it made sense because the meaning behind the song, like, this is an ongoing topic, and annoyingly so, but at the same time, it's like, for me, the song can't die because the message behind it is constantly gonna speak at, guys, we need to get up, we need to do something, about this GBV situations that are happening around us in society. So doing that remix package, and teaming up with AEM, as well as a charity, a gift of givers, in KZN. So basically, all the proceeds of that release are going to be going to that charity that helps kids who are struggling and coming from a GBV situation. Because I'm really big on grooming the kids. Because there's that saying, "Bare, can't teach an old dog new tricks," type of thing. So, but I'm someone who's a lover for kids because I just believe that kids are just born innocent, and it's us adults that teach them the wretchedness of ways of life. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Yeah.
mm. Wow, man. That's very important, and shout out to you, for doing that, for doing, your bit for the community. I understand.
Yeah, yeah.
I think what you guys are doing is very important, and it's very much needed, in South Africa especially. So, you
Thank you.
know, yeah, man, South Africa right now is producing, like, dope house music, in my opinion,
Yeah.
whether it's Amapiano, whether it's soulful, whether it's deep, whether it's Afro. So, musically, we are at a beautiful place. But, artists, they're still trying to make coins. What do you think is needed, like, moving forward, to make sure that, like South African DJs and producers get their money, because right now, niggas are broke, but they're producing dope music, you know? Well, what are the answers? How do we now get to a level where people are making money that they deserve based on the quality of the music?
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's a really tough question. I'm sure that's what's on everybody's mind, you know. How to make that butter with the talent that you have. Me now, what I do is that I literally replicate the biggest industries in the world, you know. One being Hollywood, one being Nollywood as well, where I start looking at seeing what are those artists doing. Like I recently watched Coming to America, and I was
Mm,
surprised to see Rick Ross in the movie. I was like, what is Rick Ross doing in the middle of the movie? He's an artist. He's supposed to be rapping, and now he's acting. You know, and that's exactly what we should be doing locally. You know, putting our music, our talent is supposed to be a gateway to other things because internationally, that's what everybody's doing. You know, even if you look at the biggest artist in the world, which is Michael Jackson for me, you know, he was acting before he even dropped bangers. Then he dropped bangers, and then he infused all that performance from acting and onto stage, and that's what made him a great performer. So I
mm,
just think a lot of our artists locally, we just need that confidence to get out there, man, and do whatever. You know, just get out there, use your music. Like with me, I mean, I was inspired to do music for film. That's how I started producing. I was doing music
mm,
for film. Then I later on did music for Buseli Matuzi. I still got music on Generations. I still got music from, you know, all these soapies, Skim Sam, you know, and it's just based on outside commerciality of the commerciality of the music. You know, like what's
mm,
happening. What else are you doing, you know, with the talent that you're building? And there's many other things that you could do. And the biggest thing right now for me, I guess, is like content, you know, recreating content with your music. A guy who's doing an excellent job with that is Robot Boy, man. Like I'm hooked on his Instagram page because he's able to make songs and then create content out of it and put it online. And the content is entertaining, it's capturing, it gets the people going. And that's the vibe that you need to be on if you want to
mm.
get the paper. Because as soon as your social numbers are up, as soon as the music numbers are up, that's when the sponsors come and say, hey, here's Taonyana, can you just post about this, you know? And that's when you're
Mm.
eating bread of something else, but it's also associated with your talent. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I know, man. You know, thank you so much for that. That's very, very dope insights. And I
Yeah.
think, you know, up and coming people who are gonna watch learn a lot from that. I didn't know that, you know, you also did stuff for TV, and I know that's long
Hey,
money,
yeah, you
man.
have to khuzuka, yeah.
But anyway,
Hey, Joe.
two more questions. Two more questions.
Yeah.
You know, your station has been crazy right now. You know, every April is coming. It's a crazy season
Hey,
now.
bruh. Press release after press release is happening, though.
Yeah, man. You know, people are you know are saying they're leaving, they're going elsewhere. You know, what are your radio plans for the rest of 2021?
Hey, my radio plans, man. Honestly speaking, you know, being radio is like playing soccer. You never know what the coach says, you know. One minute your
Mm,
plans could be like, you're in the first team, you know, everything is nice. Next minute you're on the bench, I wanna because there's another, you know, plan or something like that. But
mm,
best believe it for me, I always enjoy connecting with different individuals. Like I said, even the radio show that we do, we inherited from the Grootman Oskido. He called it the church, and it feels like a congregation because I feel like I'm giving myself up to the community of house music. I'm making myself a vessel that I can channel out music into a huge platform like YFM. And all I can tell you is that at the moment they're vibing with that because, like I said, man, it's a legacy that goes way back. You know,
mm,
I think since the station started, Lily Frotman. So it's definitely something that they're still vibing with because it's in line with their legacy as a station, as blowing up artists from you know, from you don't know who he is to he's filling up stadiums type of vibes. So I'm definitely gonna be vibing with the station as long as they're vibing with us and the whole movement that we're pushing, man.
Okay. Yeah, no, I can tell that you are PR trained. Good answer.
Yeah, no, dog. I was gonna to, yeah, no, bringing a beer here and bringing the PR untrained Sundays.
Yeah, so last question, man. Music wise, what can we expect from Josi Chave for the rest of 2021?
Hey man, there's a couple of releases coming through besides this one with AME, the Baleka remixes. It's out on digital stores. I think it's there on iTunes. You can just search it up on your phone or just search out my name. There's quite a lot of releases. There's another release that came out with Equa Brothers a month ago. That one features Latoya Makene. Hey, she did best, man. Shout out to her. As well as Candyman. I worked with Candyman on that one. And there's a couple of more tracks that I've done with Candyman. Look out for Candyman SA, Dramatic Soul on Twitter. This guy's on fire, man. And I just enjoy working with different producers. Right now, I'm trying to do something with a guy called TorQue Muziq. He's on the come up as well. So yeah, man, like there's so much. Like I said earlier on, there's an EP I'm working on where I'm putting together a mini compilation yana of literally I'm looking for unknown guys. I'm just looking for unknown guys that have like 5 followers, 7 followers, and just pick out from that just based on their talent and put out the music on digital platforms. And the dope thing about that project is that I'm actually giving everybody 100% of their royalties because it's all about creating a foundation for them to get on. So guys who have been just on SoundCloud or have been on Datafide, and they're killing it there. The numbers are high on Datafide. The numbers are high on Fagaza, but when you go into iTunes and you search their name, nothing comes up. Those are the guys I'm trying to look for and starting to put them on those platforms, that are repeatable. Those platforms that the Bitball 100 can look and be like, actually, we can stamp approve. I mean, right now, I think Audio Mac just got approved for Billboard 100. So just putting them on those platforms that, there's a reputation and there's an industry standard, and ultimately you can make a living from them. So that's my plan for the year. Besides all the radio hustles and the other life hustles, but mainly in the music game. And hopefully, when the industry opens up, man, and there's no curfew, we're definitely going down. We are grooving all night long, bro. I'm taking 10 gigs a night. I'm fighting.
Okay, I know, man. Look, thank you so much for your time, man. And what you're doing for the game and the guys that are on the come up. It's
Yeah,
really really dope. I
yeah,
see,
yeah, yeah.
Playroom Erotica says that's awesome. Great way to give back to the community. I agree. Demented Soul says incredible initiative. Yeah, shout out to
Shout
Demented
out,
Soul,
shout
man.
out.
I don't know if you know him, but yeah, he's dope as well.
Hey, do I know Demented Soul, bruh? That's what I'm trying to say. Every year, I just hear different names, and I love it, man. Like, watch out for Demented Soul. Like, yo, the stuff that I've been hearing released, the stuff that's gonna come out, yeah, no, definitely on fire. And that's what it is, man. Just shout out to you also for having platforms like this to inspire guys like us, man, because it's a tough time. And like you said, man, the coin is low. A lot of people are dependent on gigs. Resident DJs are suffering because, they can't eat properly now. They have to eat kadi straw, it's tough.
It's tough. It's tough. It's tough. But we'll be all right. We'll be all right, brother.
Yeah, no, definitely will be all right. So yeah, man, like a lot of people coming through and showing me love as well. Shout out to everybody, and let's keep the spirit positive, and let's keep on pushing, dog.
Okay. I know. Thank you, Siyabonga, ne?
Salute, salute, salute.
Chap chap.
Voila.